In a world that often measures success by external standards, have you ever wondered what it truly means to become a man with true influence? In this video, we will reveal 5 principles the Stoic masters, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, discovered millennia ago and used to transform their disciples into men of substance and gravitas. These techniques were not only valid back then, but are nowadays in our intricate modern lives more than ever necessary to implement. By embracing these principles, you're not just undergoing personal transformation, you're cultivating a mature mindset that paves the way for heightened success and fulfillment in your life. Let's dive into this. Principle 1. Think of yourself as dead. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. What Marcus Aurelius is suggesting here is a powerful thought experiment, but it's also an extremely effective method for course-correcting your life before it's too late. We humans hold strongly onto our past and onto our people with which we surround ourselves day by day. It's like in the ancient Stoic saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But what if the person you are now is not fully the one you wanted to be? Now, envision a young guy with dreams of becoming a financial advisor. He puts in the hard work, skips the parties in his free time, maintains laser focus throughout his college years, interviews for 10 different jobs, lands one, negotiates a stellar salary, and voila, he's proud and content. Yet, as time unfolds, a stark realization hits him like a ton of bricks. The finance realm, the lengthy office hours, and the workplace ambiance are sapping the life out of him. Sure, on the surface he's got it all: a comfortable salary, a sleek car, a spacious house, and a lofty social status within his circle. It's the epitome of success on paper. But here's the catch. Is he truly living his life the way Marcus Aurelius advises? Not quite. He's caught in the web of mindlessly following a predetermined path, terrified to deviate and explore new avenues for fear of squandering time and energy. What adds to the struggle is the weight of significance tied to his early success, coupled with the admiration of others for the persona he's grown tired of embodying. It's a complex web he finds himself entangled in, questioning the very essence of a life truly well lived. What Marcus Aurelius emphasizes in his script called Meditations is that this mindset of holding on to one's past is detrimental to one's present and even future. So he urges us to do the following. Imagine you were now dead or had not lived before his moment. Now view the rest of your life as a bonus. What's he trying to cultivate with this thought-provoking exercise? A clean slate. You have the chance to start afresh, retaining all the experiences of your past life, yet nobody knows you still exist. In a serene and solitary moment, engage in this mental exercise. Picture yourself as deceased or vanished from your current surroundings, finding yourself in a new place, beginning from ground zero. All you carry with you is your existing life experience, no other strings attached. Now, in this hypothetical scenario, ponder the possibilities. If you wish to change your career, no one would pester you with baffling questions about why. There'd be no loss of status, no clinging to past efforts. You'd be free from societal constraints and the self-imposed impediments you've set up for yourself. It's a powerful invitation to embrace the liberation of a mindset untethered from the past, allowing you to chart a course unburdened by preconceived notions and societal expectations. Marcus Aurelius knew that people tend to hold on to constructed identities that they created for themselves far too long. This is also true for personality traits. You can, for example, identify as a shy person your whole life, maybe due to some far in the past experiences in your childhood, and because of that, you behave and act like a shy person does even nowadays, afraid to do things that shy people were afraid to do, afraid to approach a girl because shy people don't do that, afraid to ask for a raise, afraid to introduce yourself to new people, delay starting a new career or a hobby because that's not something a shy guy would do, That's what a strong man or a respectable person would do, but you don't view yourself as that. So, ask yourself, is this helping you to live your life properly? To the Stoics, it surely doesn't make sense. And that's why Marcus Aurelius is telling us that sometimes we simply need to assassinate ourselves to have the chance to be born again as the person we want to be. I know imagining yourself as dead might make you feel sad or depressed, but it also should make you feel liberated and free because, let's face it, that could happen anytime. And what that means is that you should view the rest of your life from now on as a pure gift. It's a bonus. You get to choose what you want to do now. So, what are your first steps? Meditate on that and share your ideas in the comments below to help yourself stay committed and others to learn from you. Principle 2, the dichotomy of control. Suffering arises from trying to control what is uncontrollable or from neglecting what is within our own power, says Epictetus, the famous Stoic sage. Our opinions, our motivation, desire, aversion, discipline, actions and reactions, and whatever is of our own doing, is within our power. The opinion of others, circumstances, time or the weather, just to name a few, are not within our own control. Epictetus noticed that we humans like to lament and ruminate upon a lot of things that we can't control, like other people's thoughts and opinions about us or the actions that other people are taking in their own lives. We're mad that it's not a nice day outside or that we are stuck in traffic again. People get all worked up about the economy doing bad or politicians passing unfair policies. Yet here's the sad part. We often fail to assume responsibility for the things we genuinely can control. Our thoughts, perspectives, healthy lifestyle, body actions, and the resilience we cultivate. These are within our grasp, waiting for us to claim ownership. It's a call to shift focus, acknowledging the sphere of influence we hold and directing our energy towards what truly matters. Here's a simple but deep insight that Epictetus asked his pupils to meditate on. When we ascertain that something is beyond our control, worrying about it becomes utterly pointless. The key, he asserts, is to acknowledge it for what it is, accept the reality, and swiftly redirect our focus to what we can control. This intentional shift isn't just a psychological maneuver, it's a strategic move to reclaim otherwise squandered energy. But here's the twist. It goes beyond mere energy conservation. Epictetus states that now we can tap into double the energy when we identify that something lies within our control and make a significant change. It's an empowerment strategy, an invitation to channel our newfound vigor into effecting meaningful changes where it truly matters. And there's a profound layer to this wisdom, according to Epictetus. Once you embrace this mindset, suffering becomes nothing more than a conscious choice. No longer are you compelled to endure hardships unless you choose to lament the uncontrollable or resist enhancing the controllable aspects of your life. If you find yourself in an unpleasant situation with no immediate remedy, the battleground shifts to your own mind. There's no sense in scattering your efforts elsewhere. In the realm of Epictetus, wasting time and energy becomes anathema, urging us to be intentional custodians of our mental and emotional resources. Principle 3. Dodge the curse of imaginary problems. People are often in the habit of exaggerating and anticipating sorrow. We suffer more from imagination than from reality, says the great sage Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. And isn't it undeniably true? This habit of exaggeration and anticipation, deeply ingrained in our subconscious, shapes our way of thinking. We find ourselves obsessing over scenarios that haven't unfolded and might never materialize as we imagine. The mind, a relentless architect of worst-case scenarios, spins tales of what could go wrong, subjecting us to endless cycles of overthinking. We sit in contemplation, analyzing every conceivable way a situation could take a turn for the worse, replaying these scenarios until they become a relentless loop, sometimes even extinguishing the flame of hope within us. Seneca's insight pierces through this tendency, inviting us to confront the real source of our suffering, not the external realities, but the vivid creations of our own minds. Think about students in their final year of university. Every single student is so worried that at the end of the year, they're not going to get a job, haunted by the specter of unemployment and social ridicule. Or imagining another situation. Maybe you think there's an upcoming confrontation with your boss the following days. You're just sitting there anticipating it and worrying, unable to focus on your tasks, losing sleep and developing unhealthy eating habits. This could even lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy and indeed bring you problems at work. Or think about sending a text message to a girl you admire. You're worried about sending a text message because the girl might not respond. She might even laugh at you trying to text her. These types of worries are perfectly normal, by the way. This is how the human mind works. We are wired to lean towards risk aversion, a tendency to dwell on potential pitfalls rather than embrace courage and adventure. We tend towards worrying about things going wrong. And it's also why average people don't achieve anything in life, because they spend half their day just worrying about things and losing their mental energy on potential downside scenarios in their heads instead of using that energy for something constructive. That's why you have to shift back again to the dichotomy of control and ask yourself, all right, okay, I'm a bit worried, but what in this situation can I control here? Build a system around your fears and focus your energy on activism. If it's applying to jobs, for example, make a rule for yourself. Say perhaps I'm going to apply to 5 jobs every single day, not more, not less, but 5 every single day, and stick to it. Even famous and highly successful people had to do this and wait even for months before they got the job offer they wanted. So don't be too harsh with yourself. Or if you're worried that something might go down at work and someone might try and confront you, well, what do you have control over? You can go and prepare yourself. Be ready to articulate your perspective and gather any relevant information. Seek out your boss or colleagues and proactively start a conversation. This shows courage, responsibility, and commitment. That's something you should do rather than sitting there and consuming your energy worrying about it. Thinking like this is a game changer, because now bad situations can motivate you to grow more, to fulfill your true potential, learn more skills, and achieve goals. If you're still worried about approaching a girl because she might say she has a boyfriend or shoot you down and you might get embarrassed, always keep in the back of your mind. You can always say, hey, don't even worry about it. Just take it as a compliment. Gently smile, hold your head high, and walk away with no embarrassment. Principle 4, premeditatio malorum. Let's dive into the profound Stoic principle, the premeditation of evils. This isn't just an abstract concept. It's a Stoic meditative exercise crafted to fortify our minds against the potential onslaught of life's adversities. The essence lies in preparing our thoughts for the worst that could unfold at every twist and turn of our journey. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would we willingly subject ourselves to envisioning the darkest and most negative scenarios repeatedly? Well, the Stoics have 2 compelling reasons for this unusual practice. The first reason, and a very counterintuitive one, is to get rid of the fear of a particular negative outcome. Picture this. You're in a buzzing bar, and your eyes catch a charming girl patiently waiting at the counter to order a drink. You're intrigued, thinking about approaching her to strike up a conversation, but that fear of potential rejection holds you back. So, how can premeditatio malorum help you in this situation? Take a moment to ponder. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe you ask a simple, hey, how are you? And she angrily spills her drink over your face, screaming, or her boyfriend and a bunch of other guys throws you out the bar. But let's get real for a moment. What are the actual odds of such dramatic scenarios unfolding? Practically 0. In reality, she might politely say, sorry, I'm not interested, or I have a boyfriend. Now compare these much more plausible outcomes with the extreme scenarios your mind conjured. It's fascinating how our minds tend to magnify negative emotions, as if we're about to face a worst-case scenario in every time we deal with risks. Through the lens of premeditatio malorum, we can juxtapose these imagined scenarios, realizing how insignificant the fear of a regular, everyday interaction truly is. Now, let's delve into the second reason why incorporating premeditatio malorum into your daily life is a game changer. It's all about boosting that feeling of gratitude. Too often, we find ourselves fixating on what we lack and feeling discontent, neglecting the appreciation for what we already have. Consider this. Your car breaks down, and frustration and disappointment well up inside you. But flip the perspective. At least you have a car. Picture a scenario where you don't have one at all. There are people out there who can't afford such a luxury. And here's the kicker. In a matter of days, you'll probably be back behind the wheel, since it will be repaired. Or think about those mornings when the alarm clock rudely interrupts your slumber for another day at work. But hold on a second. At least you have a workplace to head to. Imagine not having a job. Now, that would be a more challenging situation, right? Here's the scoop according to Seneca. He's urging us to consistently reflect on what could potentially go wrong in various aspects of our lives. Now, let's be clear. He's not advocating for pointless worrying and stressing out about every little thing. The last thing we need is to let imaginary problems take over our minds. No, the concept here is a bit different. It's about conducting a focused analysis from a place of calm strength. The beauty of this practice lies in its ability to prevent us from taking things for granted. Your friend's company, the incredible gift that is life. These are things we often overlook. It's a tough pill to swallow, right? It's just so human to do so. Yet, everything we have, all those blessings, they demand our appreciation. Oddly enough, contemplating the possibility of losing them could be the wake-up call we need to truly value them. But you know the saying, hope for the best, but always have a plan for the worst. Going through life without a plan or a backup is essentially setting yourself up for failure. Principle 5, memento mori. Keep in mind that you are mortal. Let's break it down, especially for the young adults out there. Many of us tend to live as if immortality is our birthright. The notion of our own frailty rarely crosses our minds, nor do we consider how swiftly time is slipping away. We act as if time is an endless resource, and we casually fritter it away without a second thought. But here's the truth. That very day you're lavishing on trivial activities, or people might just be your last. Enter Seneca naming it how it is. He's shedding light on those moments when we laze around on weekends or during our downtime, engaging in activities that, in hindsight, might seem a bit silly. Think mindless scrolling through Instagram. We let time slip through our fingers, behaving as if we're invincible, as if our mortality is a distant concept. Time is a precious commodity, and Seneca's urging us to grasp that reality before it slips away unnoticed. Time is a gift that we have. Our lives are a gift that we have, but it's not a gift that lasts forever. Sure, we hope to reach old age after living an epic life, but the undeniable truth is that, at some point, every one of us will face our end, and that end point might be just around the corner, maybe even tomorrow. That's why seizing the present is crucial. We can't afford to take today for granted, not when tomorrow is uncertain. I'll level with you. Internalizing this reality is no walk in the park. Here is a good mind trick I use to envision this principle. Consider life as a delicate hourglass, with each grain of sand representing precious moments. At any given time, you hold the power to flip the hourglass between two modes, the focused pursuit of goals and the serene embrace of leisure. When you engage in purposeful work, let distractions fade away and immerse yourself entirely in the task at hand. Yet, during moments of relaxation, resist the temptation to be consumed by the demands of the daily grind. So no work calls, no emails, no calendar notifications. Balancing between these modes means mastering the art of navigating life's fleeting sands, a skill that transforms the game of existence. Another powerful reminder from the ancient Romans that the past is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Likewise, the future hasn't unfolded. It's still a blank canvas, waiting to be painted.